As I mentioned numerous of times, this might be the most generational defensive tackle class in particular, nose tackle, one tech, inside defensive lineman, whatever you want to call it. Has been a generational class when it comes to this position right here. Full of the big guys, full of the stout, the stalwarts, the epitome of the immovable object. But if you want to talk about true anchors to a defense, true stalwarts inside, I want you to introduce you to Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle from Ohio State University, standing about 6'3", the 334-pound trench bully who is crashing into pocket, who is stonewalling run games every Saturday. We are going to take a deep dive in to why I believe whoever picks this kid at the next level at the draft coming up will be getting a true game changer in the making. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, man. We are continuing along on some guys in this draft. I've already been doing the series, but I want to highlight a couple of guys who I feel are going to be very special that we should pay attention to in their career when they go in the NFL. Hopefully my Dallas Cowboys is listening. If this guy is here, especially in that first round, on that late or that early second round, we need to go get this guy. But Tyleik Williams, he comes from Manassas, Virginia. He was a 4-star recruit at Unity Reed High School. He was a top 10 defensive lineman prospect nationally in the 2021 class. He chose Ohio State over prominent universities such as Alabama, Clemson, and even North Carolina. Early on, he showed out early as a freshman, and he was a part of a deep defensive line rotation. That is key because we know the fruitful talent that comes in and out of the Ohio State University. Even early on, when he was just a rotational defensive lineman, he showed flashes of dominance up front. By 2023, he became a starter and an interior leader of this defense. During this time, he posted career numbers in tackles for loss, run stops, and even QB hurry. This is also a key thing that I think no one wants to talk about. He has shed close to 40 plus pounds at Ohio State University, and he's drastically improved his mobility and stamina. That is something I pay attention to. He is a stock increasing, a steady stock that's increasing, and he's also been part of that #1 ranked defense in the country in 2023. Now let's go over some strengths of Tyleik Williams and why teams should really pay attention and take a chance and even draft this kid, because they're gonna get somebody special. First of all, he's a natural run defender. Now I know PFF has some of the snaps and the ratios. I categorize this kid as a one tech, but he has the ability, and I do mean the ability, to play pretty much anywhere in the interior, from 0 to 1 to the 2-eye to the head up 2 to the 3 technique. If you need it, I'm gonna put up the gaps on the screen. But usually nose tackles, they're either two types. They're the athletic ones who can sometimes flash and be a 3 tech, or they're the stalwart ones who is there just to take up space and take up just a gravity and make it almost immovable. You'll see guys like that. This guy is a rare combination of both. And to be that, he has to be sneaky athletic. I know at his size, in this class of dancing bears, you might, there's guys who are tracking down, running backs 20 yards down the field. His athleticism, and I do mean this, his athleticism is very sneaky. He has a great, probably one of the best first step, the best, initial burst off the line. I seen this guy fire off from the 2-eye position, and from his knee, being able to generate enough force and stop a QB sneak when he was not even initially in the 0 or in the 1 tech position. I thought that was very great, very phenomenal at his size. I thought that was very impressive. in my opinion. Also, when it comes to the run, I view him as a multi-gap defender. He's not a guy who can just maintain the gap, even though he does this also very well. Maintains the gap, does a good job of shooting and being able to process and use his eyes, just not being, you know, being lost out there. I will find him. I've seen him at times, and I have to go back and review his film just to confirm this. He's a guy who can play lateral on the line of scrimmage, not just a guy who just fires off and just maintains his gap. He is that initial pursuit, and with that, I think he has very good lateral quickness for a defensive tackle. The lateral burst he plays with, a lot of times you'll see him try to do a little swim. He's much faster than a lot of these tackles or these guards inside, and he sets it up so well. That's another thing. He plays with a plan. So sometimes he'll give 5 reps in a row where he's firing off, and he'll beat up on a lineman for so long, and then all of a sudden he'll pull another card out of his hat, and he'll do the quick little side step around for the offensive guard, and the quickness literally catches him off the guard. So he's a free rusher, and he's able to knife through, or you just see him 91 just in the backfield somehow, and I literally seen it on film of him setting guys up, setting up his moves methodically, and not just firing off, and being a guy who you can easily to depict on film. I like that layerness into his game. Also, he does show some pass rush ability. I mean, he's not a guy who's going to get a lot of sacks, but that lateral quickness, when he uses it correctly and with a great bull rush sometimes, he's always getting pressure. He just never finishes the sack. He's a guy who's always around the ball, but never finishes. That's everything. We can teach him how to finish. We can, especially as a defensive tackle. If he's already a great run defender and he's already around the ball as a pass rusher, we can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But also, I wanted to highlight he has a rare skill that no other defensive tackle I've really seen on film has. He gets in the way of passing lanes, getting that bear paw up and actually affecting the quarterback's vision, which is very important, because we want to do whatever we can to help the guys help the back seven. And he does that, and I appreciate him for that. That's something in this game I don't think a lot of people highlight. He has a lot of translatable skills that can help him, form, that you can see the blank canvas that a team can get, and you can see it can make him to a great player. It plays with great leverage, great get off, great lateral quickness, sneaky athletic, former big guy I just read off that's shedding pounds. I mean, it shows you how committed he is in this game and his work ethic. A lot of translatable skills here. But let's go into his weakness. There is still some weaknesses to his game. I did, praise his pass rush, but I'm gonna be honest, there is room for improvement there. For him to be a consistent pass rush defender, he's a guy that he has just one move in his repertoire, and it's got to be an initial move. I mentioned the side step he has, the swim, the rip, the bull. He has no counters in his game to him to be in a very deadly pass rusher. He's a situational pass rusher, and it's not situational that we can control. It's a matter of his plan that he has. Okay. Also, I found sometimes on the run game, his hands, as he's striking, can get a bit lost. He'll allow offensive linemen, offensive guards to get his wrist, and when they have your wrist, it's not much you can do, so his hands seem lost. Also, he needs to work on his backside pursuit. At times when the play was not going away from him, you'll see him not try to affect it, but at the next level, they're going to want to see you still be able to trail, being able to exhaust the motor. You need to exhaust the motor, and you can see that he's still a work in progress with that. Also, he still needs to improve, even though I praise him for losing the initial 40 pounds, which is very impressive, shows how committed he is. There is some need to improvement because he gets gassed on film, and right now you can only characterize him as a early down defensive tackle. A lot of people do that, but listen, there's room for improvement with this. Most guys got him projected as a late first round type of pick, early second round. I feel like he can go anywhere from that midline of the first round, because he's better than a lot of these initial or first round consensus defensive lineman in my opinion, because he just offers a bit more. A lot of these guys who are at the top are just a bit toolsy, but I feel like if you get him, he's a high floor, especially letting him develop for like 2 to 3 years, because you know defensive tackle take a while to develop. He's a guy who has a great foundation, a great blank canvas that a defensive coordinator or defensive line coach can pretty much work on, and I feel like he's going to be a solid to great player in this league to come, and it's a promise. All in all, I feel like this guy right here, he's an elite run stopper, but with improved conditioning and just some consistency in his pass rush, I feel like he can turn into the peak of his powers and be one of the staples when we look back onto this class. Whatever team gets him, I hope my Dallas Cowboys are targeting him, because I feel like he's going to be a very great asset to any team he's on. But listen, man, hey man, tell me your thoughts down below. What do you feel about this defensive tackle, Tyleik Williams? Is he undervalued? Because I feel like he is. Do you feel like he's undervalued? Should he be mentioned a lot higher? Should he be like a mid, to late round first rounder? You know what I'm saying? Or is an early second round projection, is it correct on him? But listen, make sure to like and subscribe the video, comment down below. Until next time, everyone, peace.